posted on the corner. I'm posted on the corner.
You posted on the corner with yours, truly, Incognito.
And DJ Mrs.
DJ Mrs.
What's the dealio?
I turned on the TV, right?
And who you see?
Her.
That girl.
It's a new movie that came out, right?
What's it called?
Praise this. But here go the crazy thing. I'm scrolling on iTunes, right?
Right.
Her album right though.
Uh-huh.
I'm watching the Stella Awards, the Grammy Awards,
Dove Awards.
any red carpet, folks.
She pulling up.
Hey, man, this is different for us, and I like this right here. I like this right
Good
here.
vibes only.
Let's talk about star power. Let's talk about putting on. Got grace, mercy, and salvation written all over.
Come on.
Jekalyn Carr in the studio. What's up?
Listen, everything is amazing. Life is amazing. I mean, I'm here with you all. So, yeah, I'm great.
So, for the people out there that might not know who you are, explain to them, who is Miss Jekalyn Carr?
Yes, so I am a gospel artist. I'm an author. I'm a host of my conference, You Will Win, which I'm bringing back to the A this year. All right. I am a speaker. I'm a business owner, all that good stuff. You may know me from my music. So I started singing at the age of 5 years old. And make a long story short, I released my first breakout single at the age of 15 called Greater Is Coming. From there, You're Bigger, You Will Win, It's Yours, Jehovah Jireh. The list goes on and on and on. I'm an independent artist. I've been independent since I came out. And my life is literally a miracle. My career is a miracle. So,
That's beautiful.
And radio host.
And, yeah. Listen, I was just telling somebody my life is so layered that I be forgetting stuff.
You got to add actress onto the list.
Exactly.
Jekalyn, you do this music thing.
Yeah.
At what moment did it hit you when you were singing, when you was like, oh, I got this gift in me, I got to share it with the world?
It started when I was 5, as I said, and I love the choir, of course, ever since I was a little girl. And so, but this particular day we was at choir rehearsal and the choir was singing out of key. It was the adult choir, and I stopped them, and I was like, y'all out of key. And I gave them their correct key. Exactly. Somebody too pitchy over here now. And I gave them their correct keys, and it was an eye-opener to my family, you know, that there was a gift. And the thing about it is I knew ever since I was a little girl that this was what I wanted to do. It wasn't something that I was made to do or taught. Because I tell people all the time, just because everybody in your family can sing, that doesn't mean that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
But I just knew this was my passion.
I know that's right.
Yep.
So I believe God is out now.
Yes.
Take
Look
us
at
back
you.
to the
You
studio
did your
session.
research, sis.
Let's go back to the studio session. What was that like? What was that experience? How did you know, like, oh, I have to put this out to the people?
Yeah. So anyone who knows me, so if you know my music, I'm always about encouraging and building people. And one of the biggest things I think we have to understand during this time, there's so much that is going on. However, it doesn't stop God's plan for your life. And so I believe God is a song to let you know, I know there's a lot of things that is happening in your life that could potentially challenge your faith, making you think that, oh, this is all the better it's going to get. No, I believe that when God has a written story for your life, that's exactly what he means. And he's not going to write it if that's not what he wants. All he asks you to do is to believe. And sometimes you may say it's easier said than done. But I promise you, I'd rather believe in God knowing that I'm going to get a miracle than for me to not believe and stay where I am.
I know
So
that's
yeah,
right.
I just channeled all of that while in the studio.
I believe you spoke about being a miracle. When you say that, give me your testimony on that.
Yeah. So as I said, I'm an independent artist. So I came out during a time where, number one, I was a little girl. So record labels on the gospel side wasn't really taking children serious. And it's like literally as an independent artist, you have to work a little harder. My family, we built every single thing from scratch. And we came up during a time where people was like, unless you have a major record label, major backing, you're not going to be successful. But look at me now.
Come on now.
Look at me
Come
now.
on now. I'm looking like Fave.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I say my career, swear my life is a miracle. Independent artists, we have our own family record label, publishing company. We write every song, own every song, just ownership. So yeah, you know.
What was your favorite gospel song as a child growing up?
Yeah.
Oh, there were so many, but I would say I love hymns. It was my favorite then,
What was your
and
favorite
my favorite
hymn?
now. Probably What a Friend We Have in Jesus.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah. No, but I love hymns, as you can tell. You know, they bleed over. I even do like a hymn session in my concerts. I would go from hymn to hymn, because I think there's nothing wrong with taking it back every now and then. So
That's amazing. So with you having 4 Dove Awards, let me pop it for you. 6 Stellar Awards. So many nominations. What is that feeling like for you, especially knowing your testimony and know what you have came from, being recognized?
To be honest with you, I'm still kind of taking it all in. Like, for me, I just see myself as Jekalyn. Like, I know that I'm great. However, I'm just, you know, but to think that when I got into this, awards was never in the forefront of my mind and still isn't. For example, you mentioned the Dove Awards. Last year, I had forgot I was nominated. I was just there. My mind was focused on my performance, and that was it. And then the lady was like, we need you in your seat because, you know, we're going to call out your category. And I was like, oh, yeah, I am nominated.
Hold on, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, being in the category with so many greats, and for them to call my name, I was just like, that was my genuine reaction, because I just knew somebody else had it, like, all day long. But, you know, to be able to experience that type of, you know, accolades and all that good stuff, it's just beautiful. It's humbling, and it just shows you how much people are touched by, you know, your purpose.
Yes. Where do you store your awards at? Where do you keep those at?
So I have an office.
Come on, girl.
Well, yes, in my family office. So I keep them on my shelf and all that good stuff. And yeah, I barely see them because I rarely have the time to go to the office or whatever, but they're there.
What's the most sentimental one to you?
Probably The Last Dove. Because it was just highly unexpected. You know how, like, sometimes you can be in a category and you kind of like can feel like maybe I got this one.
Right.
You don't really know, but you feel like there's a chance you may have it. But that one, I just knew I didn't have that at all.
I've been in a category one day. I just had to live through. You say, you know how it feel like, I don't vote, man. You know, live through you, too.
So praise this. Tell us about it. When we were talking before we cracked the mic, Ink asked you how many times did you watch it? What was your reaction? What was that feeling for you to watch yourself on TV?
It was just surreal, you know, just to bring laughter even to myself, you know, let alone the many people that have tagged me. And I was literally doing my cardio walking today, and there's this guy who was like, I saw you in Praise This.
Hey.
You're my favorite character. I'm like, thank you. But it was just a joy, and it was a joy to even work with that cast. We literally became friends. Like, we still communicate. We still check on each other. And it was just a beautiful experience. Another dream come true for me, because acting is something I've always wanted to do. I just believe in doing things in the right time.
Yes, sure. Jekalyn Carr is here, posted on the corner with yours truly, Incognito, and DJ Mrs. We're talking about the movie Praise This, which is streaming now on all digital streaming platforms. Right, Peacock to be exact.
Yes.
Peacock to be exact. You gotta get the premium account now. You know what I'm saying? Get that thing early. When it came to this character, Kiki, what made you put and how did you put your spin on it?
Right.
You know, I just had to think about the Kikis I know.
Come on now.
One being myself. Now, I'm a sanctified version of Kiki, but but you know, I love to laugh, and you know, Kiki's character, she was very comical, all of that good stuff. And then, of course, like I said, like, I know a few Kikis, and so I'm just like, what would they do? How would they respond? Like, there were certain people don't know this, but a lot of my lines were kind of like improv, because I had to say it how I would say it, or, you know, like how a Kiki would say it, so we can feel it better. But yeah, it was great. It was like, there was no dull moment. Like, I know the confession scene, we had to kind of redo that a whole lot of times because we were laughing. But yeah, I had to channel, you know, those people who I know. Who are Kikis.
Kiki had that hair on fleek the
Yes,
whole movie.
every scene.
Every
I'm like, that ain't what she just had.
Purple,
No.
fuchsia. Oh, it was the Baps look for me, though.
Yeah.
The orange one, yeah.
And since we speaking about Kiki Trey, your style, your hair, dresses, everything slayed every time you step out. What inspires your style and your sense of fashion?
First of all, I've always loved fashion. I think as I continue to grow into the woman, you know, that I am, like, it just helped me to be able to express myself even more. And I'm very big on just showing people that it is possible for you to look good, you know, and do it in a classy way. Yeah. So many people think that because you're saved, like, you're supposed to look down. Like, no, absolutely not. We serve the King, which means you're supposed to look like that.
Hello.
And so, because when you go into a castle or anywhere where there's a king in position, everybody is going to look like they belong in there.
Put on your Sunday's best.
Exactly. And so I just keep that in mind. Like, it is okay for me to look good and to slay for Jesus without having to, you know, do too much.
Slay for Jesus.
Exactly.
I live for that.
Yeah.
I live for that.
There's a huge difference between car wreck attorneys and truck wreck attorneys. You can be a great car wreck attorney, but I bet you don't know anything about the trucking rules and regulations. Get the real experts at 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. Expertise matters.
So the You Will Win conference is coming around the corner real soon.
Yes.
So explain to the people what that is and how can they pull up on you.
Absolutely. So before the pandemic, well, let me say this. Of course, you have the song You Will Win, my song. You have my book, You Will Win. But I also had the desire and the vision to gather people together to really further teach them on how to win. Because for me, it's bigger than you just saying it. It's bigger than you just reading it. Now, what can you do to activate it? Right. Because at some point, you're supposed to go from saying it to becoming it. And so with that being said, my last stop before the pandemic was Orlando. It was so amazing. So this is our first year back. I'm bringing it to Atlanta. I'm bringing in so many great people. Of course, we have our panels. We're going to be discussing winning in faith, winning in family. We all know I'm a family person. You know, you have people out there who are supposed to be working with their families, but they just feel like it's impossible. In our community, it is very much said that it's impossible. But I'm here to tell you it is. It's just all about you being taught, everybody being taught about their lane. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that, winning in the marketplace, not being afraid to go into the marketplace. Just because you're operating in the business, you're operating in television, that doesn't make you any less of a Christian. You know, just as long as you're not compromising your values, this and that and the third, and just so many other things. And of course, we're going to have our nightly services. And then we're going to close it out with a big concert with myself, Pastor Mike Jr., you got Erica Campbell, African artist Deborah Lukaloo. So it's going to be great.
You said some of our kinfolk on there.
Yeah,
my hope deal on there. Pastor Mike Jr.
Yes.
Timothy.
Yeah. And it's going to be at the Georgia International Convention Center. And you can log on to youwillwin.org to register.
That's why I was about to ask, where can I get that ticket from?
Yeah. And it's for everybody. It's for whoever wants to see themselves winning and thriving in life. Even if you feel like you are winning, I feel like even the most successful person is still learning. There's always something that you can learn to help further you and take you to the next level. So that's what we'll be doing.
Let's talk favorites right quick, because I want to win.
Okay.
What's your favorite type of food?
Because I want to win. My favorite type of food is probably seafood. But I only like it from one place, and that's from where I'm home. It's called Seafood Shack. And I've tried a whole lot of places, but Seafood Shack is there.
Shout out to Seafood Shack.
Exactly.
I see them nails. Is you eating with the gloves on or gloves off?
You know what? I feel like I've outgrown the gloves for whatever reason. I used to wear my gloves a lot. I used to double up on my gloves actually, but it was I still do if I gotta be somewhere afterwards. But if not, I'd go right on in.
What you put in that seafood bag, Jekalyn?
I do crawfish when it's crawfish season, crab legs of course, and shrimp. And that's it. I go to town. I always get my sauce extra spicy. So, you know.
Come on, KK.
Little extra sauce on the side. Yes.
Tripping. Let's talk favorite stay in that lane. What's your favorite scripture?
My favorite scripture is probably Psalm 84:11. No good thing will he withhold from them who walk uprightly. That scripture has carried me, and it has allowed me to take the limits off of my life. Every good thing that God has for me, God, if he gives it to me, it's because he sees that I deserve it. That's where I belong. As long as I keep honoring him, he's going to keep blessing.
I know that's right.
Last favorite. Now, out of all of your songs, what's your favorite one?
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I would probably say right now, it's going to be between Greater Is Coming and I Believe God. Only because Greater Is Coming is like my life story. Well, all of my songs are my life story. Greater Is Coming was just the first breakout song. It was my testimony. It was the song that I didn't know would go across the world, and I sing it to this very day, and it still blesses my life, you know. And of course, I believe God because of where we are or where people may be. Like, you'd be surprised of the many DMs and all of that I get from people just expressing their situation, and just to see how our hope is being challenged. But to release that type of encouragement is just an honor for me. It's my honor to serve people and to let them know all you got to do is believe God.
That's dope. So how do you protect your peace?
I get rid of the people that challenges my peace. Let me tell you something. I'm at a point where if it challenges my peace, it can't be in my space. Like, I know how to deal with people. Just because I say hi or this and that and the third, that doesn't mean I allow it into my personal space. I love everybody, but I just can't deal with, toxic things. I can't deal with toxic situations. I tell people all the time, when you got enough to do, you ain't gonna deal with no toxic stuff.
No,
so that's the biggest thing for me. You get rid of those who challenges your peace, because it ain't worth it.
For real. Do you have any other dreams that you want to accomplish?
You know what? I would say, but it's like God keeps adding things to me that I didn't even know I could do. And it just keeps getting greater and greater. Of course, I want to continue to thrive in the acting world and all that. And of course, music, like, that's not going anywhere. That's my foundation. Television, I love hosting. So, I've hosted the Stellar Awards a couple of times.
I went on it. Back to back.
Yeah, so anything with television, I love it. Yeah, so just continuing to further myself in every single gift that I have.
Definitely.
Your birthday is coming up. What we doing?
So this year I wanted to do something different. I try to go with a theme, and so this year I'm doing like Jekalyn's rodeo.
Ooh,
so it's gonna be Western rodeo vibe. I'm excited.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You ready to turn up? You got the boots on, you got the fit together.
Exactly. I got the cowgirl hat because I have horses of my own, and so I just like, let me just bring that into my arena, my world, give people the chance to see that side or whatever. I posted a few days ago how my family, we paid off our land, like 100 and something acres of land, like basically a ranch and all that, and just again, that ownership and all that. So I'm taking advantage of it all. I'm a country girl. I love animals. I want a goat for my birthday.
Come on now.
Yeah, a little baby goat. I'm like, I think I'm gonna call him Big Money. No, just
you might look in the mirror today.
But yeah, so yeah.
I heard you say something about posting. Now you have a strong presence on social media. What's your favorite social media app?
TikTok.
For real.
They love you on TikTok.
Thank you. I'm still getting the hang of it as far as posting wise, but I think I love TikTok because I don't know, I just feel like a sense of freedom on TikTok as it relates to like other people, like on your FYP. Like Instagram, you always, or Facebook, it's like most of the time you're going to run into a lot of people business, like, and stuff like, and sometimes I just want a good laugh, and TikTok gives me that laugh that I need, because again, I love to laugh.
Right. That's dope. So what advice do you have for the young fly girls that are out there and want to break out into the gospel industry or want to get saved, but they're scared of them being judged for just simply how they look?
Well, I want you to understand, you can't help how God created you. At the end of the day, when God wants you, he wants you, and he's not rejecting you. So, I don't think you should worry about anybody else, because as long as he's the one you have to answer to. And I would say this, I would hear a lot, especially when I first started, that it wasn't popular for, young people to love God, or it was boring. But I'm here to tell you it's not. It is not, and I think it is very important that even for those who want to be successful, because you mentioned young girls that want to be fly and all that, that you have accountability partners in your life. What is you being fly if you always got yes people in your corner? You need those people that can correct you when you're wrong, celebrate you when you're right. Everything you do ain't right, sis. Like, sometimes you don't need to send a text message. Sometimes you don't need to make the post. Now, I always tell my friends, like, you grown, you gonna do what you want to do, but it would never be said I didn't tell you. You know what I mean? Especially if you come to me and you ask me, or if I see you doing something that would be a threat to your destiny and all of that, I'm going to tell you, and I want them to do the same for me. I am where I am because I have accountability partners in my life, and of course God and all that good stuff. So I think it's very important that you keep that in the forefront of your mind.
Definitely.
Yes, Jekalyn Carr is here, posted on the corner with yours truly, Incognito, and DJ Mrs. I must say, you're the only Jekalyn Carr I know.
No, seriously.
It's so funny.
Your name is special. What's the meaning behind your name?
Well, I know the Kalyn in my name means she holds the key. And it's so funny because now when I travel, it be mothers walking up to me saying, I named my daughter Jekalyn, named my daughter. I think it's so sweet. But yeah, my mom, as far as who named me, my mom and my daddy, they go back and forth. They was like, I gave a Jet, and I gave a Kalyn. At this point, I'm here, people. Doesn't really matter. So yeah.
Definitely got the key. When you got the phone call and the opportunity to do radio, how did that make you feel, and what were your thought process in coming into the radio world?
I felt great, only because I felt like I would be in radio eventually.
Really?
And when I traveled, I would hear people say, "Oh my gosh, you have a radio voice, da 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 da, whatever."
Got a face for
And
it
then
too.
also, thank you. And then also, when I was a little girl, I used to play like I was on the radio and all that. So I'm like, it's not a surprise to me, and I just look at it as another way to be reachable. People calling, they like, all I got to do is call the radio station to talk to Jekalyn.
Yeah.
It is so funny, but I love it. I love people. I love being able to encourage them, and that's just my biggest goal, even on my radio show, is to make sure that when they're listening, whether it be in the morning or the afternoon, they get some sense of encouragement.
Syndicated way.
Come on now.
Come on
somebody.
So, what else can we expect to see from Jekalyn Carr this year?
There's a few things that I'm working on, and some I can't really speak of just yet. But so far, as we mentioned before, the You Will Win conference, there's some other things from a business aspect that I'm working on, but I will be back on the show. So to, kind of tell y'all about that.
Good.
That's if y'all want me back.
Of course.
But because I can't speak just yet, but I will say I'm looking forward to it. I love the way that my life is layered, because it just shows people that if you're in a box, it's because you either allow yourself to be in a box or you let people put you in a box. You will only be there as long as you allow it. And so with that being said, you can't be afraid to be who you are, operate in your purpose. Every single one of them. And so I'm looking forward to all the sides of Jekalyn.
Was gonna be my question. Are you gonna break out in the business industry? We gonna see some properties, some fun. What's going on?
Not you trying to tell my business. Yes. And so I even in 2021 I launched my beauty company, Jekalyn Beauty. My first products that I released was my fragrances, Jekalyn for her, Jekalyn for him. They sold out twice. And then I had my skincare, my hair care, all that good stuff that came out. And of course, there's some other things that we're gonna do to kind of branch off, because I just see it just being so much bigger than product. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
So if you could go back in time and give young Jekalyn Carr any advice, what would you tell her?
I would probably say, your patience is going to pay off. When I think about myself and my siblings, this was one night in particular, in the home where I grew up in. Literally, my family, like we was struggling. Like when I tell you it was a faith walk, it was a faith walk. And so being in bed and like literally telling each other, like we deserve so much better than this. You know, we're believing in God, we have faith, and we're sowing, we're tithing, all of these things. But our lives look like this. But we didn't know around the corner God had that greater that he promised. So yeah, the patience is gonna pay off.
For sure.
That's why I can sing with conviction
Come
and
on, 'cause
tell
you done
you
been through it,
that
baby.
greater is coming. Like I ain't just saying it because it sound good. I'm telling you because I know that's what's gonna happen.
Hello.
God ain't gonna ever let you believe him and just leave you out there. We all have a set time, a set season where God would just introduce us to our greater, and it's gonna be bigger than we've ever imagined. All we gotta do, sometimes he has to take us through to make sure we're built to handle where he's taken us to, if that makes sense. Because it is not his will that you get the greater and then you lose it. No, he wants you to get it, keep growing and growing and growing from there. Yeah. Generation of greater.
I know that's
Come
right.
on now.
I love that.
We got a new post on the corner alumni. She goes by the name of Jekalyn Carr. Make some noise!
Posted on the